Good morning. Our devotional this morning is a follow-up, part 2, to the 7 next words of Christ. And so the second word, the second section, comes from Matthew chapter 28. Hear these words. After the Sabbath, at the first light of the new week dawned, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to keep vigil at the tomb. Suddenly the earth reeled and rocked under their feet as God's angel came down from heaven, came right up to where they were standing. He rolled back the stone and sat on it. Shafts of lightning blazed from him. His garment shimmered snow white. The guards at the tomb were scared to death, and they were so frightened they couldn't move. The angel spoke to the women. "There's nothing to fear here. I know you're looking for Jesus, the one they nailed to the cross. He is not here. He has been raised, just as he said. Come and look at the place where he was placed. Now get on your way quickly and tell his disciples, he is risen from the dead. He is going on ahead of you to Galilee. You'll see him there." That's the message. The women, deep in wonder and full of joy, lost no time in leaving the tomb. They ran to tell the disciples. Then Jesus met them, stopping them in their tracks. "Good morning," he said. They fell to their knees and embraced his feet and worshiped him. And Jesus said, "You're holding on to me for dear life. Don't be frightened like that. Go tell my brothers that they are to go to Galilee, and I'll meet them there." Again, we're using this little booklet, the 7 next words. Shane Stanford's a great little writer. And in this, he felt like the next word is greetings. Don't be afraid. Fear is something that we all can relate to. But Mary and the other Mary visualized this perfectly because they went to do one thing, to care for the dead body of their Lord, and they had to do something else. It was a living Lord that they ran into, and they were given an assignment. Shane shares a story about a couple, Frank and Margaret. It seems like they were destined for love. In college, they met each other, but they were just friends, they would tell people. But people knew that they were truly in love. They were accepted both to Yale Law School and went there, and it was there that their love blossomed and they got married. They didn't have much money at that time, but they went near Wilmington, Delaware, and got married at Becky's Bridal Barn. And there they stayed, and the breakfast was free. And it was in that relationship that it grew, and their marriage grew. They both practiced law at the same law firm there. But things started going wrong. Their relationship became function only. They rarely saw each other because of their law practice. But then Margaret started having headaches. The doctor said she had a rare tumor, usually a deathly tumor. And so they went through all the treatments and everything, and she lost her hair. Frank gave up a lot of stuff to be with her every day and left her notes of encouragement. And finally, since they didn't have money even to go on a honeymoon, Frank said, "Now's the time." And so he rented a bed and breakfast there on the bay there, and wound up spending 2 weeks there at the bed and breakfast as their honeymoon. And the Chesapeake Bay was beautiful. They saw every sunset for 2 weeks. But as the weeks grew on, they realized that they needed to prepare for the end. And she looked at him and said, you know, this is not going to be a very happy ending. And sure enough, that last night, right before they were to check out the next day, she passed away in her sleep. The funeral was made, and they had a cemetery, a little tiny private cemetery there in Delaware. And the friends who went there couldn't understand why he chose this place. And the only thing that was around was a neon light that said Becky and Barn on it. That place was holy for him. It was there that they laid her to rest. Shane says that he met Frank at a conference, and it was there that Frank shared their story. And it was there he shared his resolution that it was through her illness that he found his faith in God again. It was through this illness that they found love for each other. And so he said that struggling with anger, struggling with fear, he said it's the fear where Jesus says not to worry, but it's a fear that says rest in me. And that is what Frank learned through that. And it's the fear that the women let go of because they went about the chore they were given to go and tell. And may we find that fear can melt away and that Jesus can direct our paths as we go and tell. Have a wonderful day.